Tonight, it is over, but what does this mean for Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, seniors, older adults, people with disabilities, and of course, fixed income beneficiaries? That's a really good question and one that I've received multiple times as of recently, and rightfully so. I don't blame anybody for asking this question and wondering what is going on. They're leaving us hanging here, and this is not a good feeling right now, especially with all of the massive uncertainty that we've had recently. Let me explain exactly what's going on. All right, so here we are, right down to the wire. We literally have hours to go. As I film this video right here on Friday, we're still waiting on a very important and critical vote out of the Senate, as well as a signature from the president. What am I talking about? A potential government shutdown. Yes, tonight, if lawmakers do not come together and pass legislation that they have at their disposal right now, we would be going into a government shutdown. Now, a couple days ago, I believe it was on Wednesday, I could be off by a day on that, I think it was on Wednesday of this week, the House of Representatives passed basically a short-term funding bill to keep the government funded through the end of September, which would be the end of the 2025 fiscal year. And then they would have to be coming in to pass the new fiscal year budget for 2026 as of October 1st. Now, obviously, here we are in the middle of March right now as I film this video, so we're a long time away from that. But this would be a short-term extension, basically out until the end of September. Because here's the thing. They were supposed to do this way back at the end of September last year. They never did it. They pushed it out until December. December, they didn't do it. They pushed it out until tonight, and they still have not done it. And therefore, here we sit, and they're coming up with a short-term patch on this thing yet again. But I've had a bunch of people reaching out, okay, what does this mean for us as fixed income beneficiaries, as Social Security? Again, as all these people are receiving benefits administered by Social Security, what does this mean for us? And again, really, really good questions. Well, here's where we're at right now. So the House of Representatives, again, passed it a couple days ago. They pushed it onto the Senate. We're waiting for the Senate right now. Now, up until yesterday afternoon or evening even, basically Democrats were coming forward, which, by the way, quick side note, nope, I'm not making this a political video. I'm literally just sharing with information and what's going on out there, okay? But basically, as we know, Republicans control everything. However, they are the ones that crafted the legislation. So Democrats, by default, don't love the legislation, and that's okay. That's just how it goes with these different lawmakers, right? But anyway, up until about late yesterday afternoon, we basically heard from lawmakers saying, Democrats saying, we're not supporting this, not a chance. And then Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Senate, well, the minority leader of the Senate, I should say, on the Democratic side, basically came forward and said, yep, I'll support this, which was a huge shock. Nobody believed it, and nobody thought they were actually going to hear that out of him. He did come forward and say he would support and vote in favor of it, which is, kind of surprising, honestly. Well, then a bunch of lawmakers on the Democratic side came forward and were like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Why are you supporting this? This is not what we agreed upon, right? So anyway, they're having kind of a hard time with this. And again, I'm not taking political sides whatsoever here in this video. I'm literally just translating information, okay? But anyway, we're still waiting on the vote out of the Senate here, okay? So literally by midnight tonight, East Coast time, if they do not have a deal together, we then go into a government shutdown, okay? So remember, they have to pass it in the Senate still today, literally hours to go here between now and basically midnight tonight, East Coast time, and then it also has to be signed by the president. Now, they've also talked about, I'm just going to throw it out there what I've seen, they've talked about potentially going into a shutdown just because basically showing their opposition, saying, no, we're not going to support this, which, by the way, they do need 60 votes in the Senate. So even if all Republicans voted for it, that would be 53 votes. They still need 7 more votes out of Democrats in order to help support this thing. So there you go, right? So we still need to get those at least some votes across the aisle here to get this thing done. Okay. Who cares about all that? I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you don't really need to know the whole history on the thing. You get it. But the big question being is, what does this mean for us as a Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivor, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, senior, person with disabilities, fixed income beneficiary, low income? Again, fill in the blank. Everybody that I talk about here on the channel, okay? What does this mean for all of us? Well, really good questions, especially with everything else we've seen recently out of things like DOGE closing down 47 different field offices for Social Security, all of the other massive changes we've seen coming out of Social Security recently. This week, I was just out with another announcement yesterday with another big one. Yeah. Oh, by the way, there was another announcement that came out yesterday, another press release out of Social Security. I did not talk about that one. I looked through the details of that and I was like, I just don't think it's really going to impact all the many people here in the community, so I didn't talk about it. But they did have another press release yesterday. It's honestly kind of good, but they're basically implementing AI, artificial intelligence, into Social Security. Oh man, the whole thing's being taken over by robots. Okay, anyway, we can talk about that in a separate video. Okay, but let's just talk about this. What happens if we go into a government shutdown? Well, I'm just going to say this. Your benefits will still continue to arrive, okay? I get this question so often, and that's okay. I don't blame anybody for this. I don't mind the question. Here's the thing. I'm right there with you. I want to know the exact same thing, which is, are we still going to get paid? I mean, here's the thing. If they shut down the government, whatever, who cares, right? It's going to impact some things. We don't want them to. Probably wouldn't be the best thing in the world. But at the end of the day, the big question being, will we still get paid? At the end of the day, that's what we want to know. Will we continue to get our monthly benefits? The answer is yes, 100%. You will. There will be no disruption whatsoever. Now, I've seen the headlines out there. I've seen other people talking about this. I've seen other channels out there that say, you're going to get a disruption to your benefit if we go into a government shutdown. And I want to come back in this video here, as I have so many times before in other videos, and push back on that and say, no, you won't. No, you won't. You will not see any disruption. You will not see a delay. You will not see the cancellation, the ending of, the removal of. You will not see anything like that to your benefit if they go into a shutdown, okay? I know I've said this so many times before in other videos, but a lot of times we just need that reassurance. And I don't mind to be right here for you and saying, I guarantee you, you're good, okay? We will not have any disturbance to our benefit, simply because of how they categorize these types of benefits, right? They have different categories for different types of federal spending, right? So there's all kinds of different things that go on. We've been hearing a lot about that recently with all the actions out of DOGE and everything like that I've talked about before. But basically, they identify different federal spending in different categories, right? One of the categories is mandatory. Mandatory includes everything under essentially the Social Security umbrella, right? So Social Security, retirement, again, the list you've heard me say a couple times throughout this video, those benefits will continue to go out no matter what. Shutdown or not, default or not, does not matter. The mandatory spending says, the law says, the rule says, you must continue to pay the beneficiary. If things get really bad, if, whatever the situation is, you must continue to pay the beneficiary. And that's what they do, okay? So, again, all Social Security beneficiaries, and again, fill in the blank with whatever the benefit is. I mentioned them all many times here in this video so far. That whole list I gave you, as well as things like Medicare and Medicaid, must continue. Defense spending, again, must continue. These are essential mandatory spendings. Okay, so yeah, those are some of them. Now, obviously, there are some of these things out there that are like discretionaries or non-mandatory. Well, those would potentially be disrupted in the event of a government shutdown. Now, let me throw one last point out there, which is SNAP benefits, okay? Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, loaded onto an EBT card, a lot of times referred to as food stamps, things like this, okay? I'm just going to say this. Right now, you would be fine. You would be fine in the event of a government shutdown. However, okay, there's always a however, right? There's always a big old but. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, okay, there's always this type of situation. Okay, so if the government were to shut down and we were to stay shut down for a prolonged period of time, something like, I don't know, a couple weeks, a month and a half, 2 weeks, we could possibly see disruption in the distribution of SNAP benefits in the event of that happening, okay? I do not foresee that happening. Just being real with you, I do not foresee that happening whatsoever. But in the situation where we may potentially see a government shutdown of a prolonged period of time, like 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, even a week, it wouldn't really do anything. It wouldn't really matter that much for the most part. But this is the only situation, SNAP benefits, okay? If we were to go into a shutdown for several weeks or maybe a month or two, then yeah, we could possibly see the disruption of SNAP benefits somewhat. I wouldn't worry about that. I do not foresee that to happen whatsoever. If they do go into a shutdown, I would anticipate it's going to be very short-lived, like a few hours, 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, maybe, I would say. They're going to come together on a deal, okay? They will. They're not going to shut this thing down. either way, if they do, it's going to be very, very short-lived, and you're not going to be disrupted whatsoever. But here we are. Huge surprise, right? They waited until the very last minute to do this. I'm not shocked whatsoever. We could have called this 6 months ago. I mean, we knew this. This is no shock whatsoever. Why? Because they do the exact same thing literally every single time. Every single time that we get down to the wire here like this, they wait until the very last minute. In fact, I'm going to say this right now, okay? So here I am right now, middle of the day, Friday, okay, making this video. I would bet, I'm going to say this, I would bet the president signed these things. First off, I'm going to bet that the Senate passes this probably around, I'm just going to throw a range out there, probably between like 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. is going to be my guess, okay? I'm just throwing some random times out there. And then the president signs this thing probably around 10 p.m. I'm just saying, okay? That's just my guess on this thing. Why? Because they do it every time, right? It's like so predictable. You could literally have bettings on this, okay? Anyway, this is what it comes down to. For those of you reaching out, again, I've seen some emails rolling in about this as well. People very concerned. I'm here for you. This is the fact, okay? So anyway, I know I've seen some headlines out there. I've seen other people talking about it, like there's going to be delays. No, there's not. You're good, okay? You're not going to have any disruption whatsoever. You will continue to get paid regardless, okay? Anyway, I hope this helps you. Otherwise, again, as always, you see the phone number there hanging out on your screen. If you have any questions, anything in regards to Medicare, Medicare supplements, Medigap plans, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Part D, initial enrollment into Medicare, anything like that, make sure to connect with my guys over at Chapter 100% for free with your exclusive phone number. That's your number right there on the screen. You see it there. Take a picture, take a screenshot, write the phone number down, whatever you got to do. They're waiting on standby to talk to you right now to help you with your Medicare needs. Again, they will do all of it 100% for free. They're not going to ask you for a credit card. They're not going to ask you for payment. It's free. Free, 100% free. I just want to really reiterate that. I love free. It's exactly why we made the partnership, to help you with this. Don't try to navigate this on your own. I mean, you can, but please don't try to. It's a disaster. They will help you find all the best plans out there. They'll look through the thousands of plans that are available across the country, isolate them down into the best plans in your local area to find you the best plan with the best coverages at the best price for your personal preferences, including whatever it is that you need, your prescription needs, your personal preferences, the doctors, the networks, the providers, the offices or the clinics that you want to go to and see. They'll do all of that, and they'll find you whatever is the best fit for you. And again, they'll do that for free. So anyway, check it out if you want to. Again, feel free to give them a call. They're waiting to talk to you, and they will do it free. Again, just want to really reiterate that it's free, okay? Anyway, just want to do what I can to help you out here in this community. Otherwise, like I said, take a screenshot, take a picture, write the phone number down. Otherwise, if I can ask a huge favor of you, number one, please share the video. Just think of a few people, 1, 2, 3 people that could use this information. There's a share button down below. Please feel free to share this. Again, with your friends, family, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Otherwise, if you're new here or if you've not done so, please subscribe to the channel as well. 100% free to do so. Check out the other 5,000 plus videos here on the channel in the video library. Popping up on your screen here in just a second. You'll see some videos there. Otherwise, down below in the description, I've hand-selected some very popular videos for you there. Check those out. Otherwise, again, thank you so much for continuing to trust me and the videos and the content, everything I'm delivering to you every single day. Thank you for allowing me to advocate and represent for you. And until next time, please have a nice day. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'll catch you again later.